You're watching Weathering the Storm, your local weather authority's special report.
The odds of being struck by lightning in your lifetime are much higher than you might think.
Yeah, according to the National Weather Service, it's 1 in 12,000. Now, meteorologist Rachael Kaye sets us straight on some of the biggest lightning myths to help keep us safe this storm season.
You may have grown up thinking that golf in a thunderstorm is the most likely way to get struck by lightning because of that metal club. It's true that metal does conduct electricity, but it doesn't necessarily attract it. Lightning is actually attracted to the most accessible spot, which usually means something tall, isolated, and pointy. Believe it or not, a study done by the National Weather Service shows that 3 times as many fishermen and twice as many campers die from lightning strikes than golfers do. And unfortunately, on average, 49 people die in the United States from lightning strikes each year. Now, Illinois is ranked in the top 20 states with 7 deaths and more injuries between 2005 and 2014. It's a number that we want to keep down. And the best way to keep safe is to be aware of the weather and make sure you're near a safe building or vehicle when a storm is coming so you can take shelter. You may have heard the phrase, "when thunder roars, go indoors," and it really could not be more important to remember. If you're outside, a tree or a picnic table won't protect you as well as your instinct might make you think. Standing within a few feet of a tree that gets struck means the current can jump to you. Electricity also travels through the ground and has the potential to affect anything within about 60 feet of that strike. Now, a car is a much safer place, but that's not because of the tires like you might have thought. It's because the metal around the car conducts the strike right down into the ground. It's the same way a lightning rod works on your house. But keep in mind, the current can travel through wires, pipes, and water in your home. So if you are inside, you want to stay away from plumbing and electronics with cords. And remember, lightning can strike the same place twice. The Empire State Building is actually hit about 100 times every year.
June, July, and August are the peak months for thunderstorms, and summer is also when the most people spend time outside. Meteorologist Rachael Kaye says you shouldn't be afraid to postpone something like a soccer match on a stormy day.
All right, well, you've seen the dangers these storms can bring, but it's important to understand the difference between a watch and a warning so you know what to do when these storms move through. Let's start off with a watch. A watch is typically issued a few hours ahead of an event beginning. It indicates that there is a risk for hazardous weather. When that's issued, you want to make sure you have a plan in place in case a storm threatens. Now, when a warning is issued, this means that an event is occurring, imminent, or likely. When you have these warnings issued, you'll want to seek shelter, take action now to save lives and property. Because when these warnings are issued, you could be looking at anything from large hail to damaging winds. Now, these warnings are typically the size of counties. Sometimes the watches actually will take up perhaps up to the size of several counties or even multiple states.
Thanks, Chris. When talking about how severe weather develops, a big piece of the puzzle is getting the word out to the people at home. A lot of folks don't have weather radios, but just about everybody has a cell phone nowadays, and the National Weather Service is putting modern technology to use when it comes to warning people about severe storms. Wireless emergency alerts are automatically sent through cell phone towers within a warning area if there's a tornado, high wind, or flash flooding. It's part of an agreement between the government and cell phone providers. You may have heard the special tone go off. The idea is to get people's attention as soon as possible because seconds can save lives when it comes to taking cover. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service in Lincoln say it doesn't add any more steps to their to-do list, and in fact, it makes getting the word out easier than it's ever been before. Coming up, new advances in weather technology are saving lives. When we come back, we'll take a closer look at the latest severe weather tracking tools. More ahead.